Over $9 million was raised during the Heritage Central States World Coins Platinum Session auctions. The first coin to look at is an exceedingly rare gold ducat from the reign of Christian V, King of the Scandinavian Union of Denmark and Norway from 1670 to his demise as a result of a hunting accident in 1699. As these coins were undated, this is about as close as we can reasonably narrow down the date for this coin, also graded by NGC as MS62. This elusive rarity was sold at auction for $19,200. The early South African series has many little gems for the astute collector to discover. The 1898 gold threepence or Sammy Marks Tiki is just such a coin, with a mysterious origin and minuscule reported mintage of just 215 coins. Apparently, influential industrialist Sammy Marks, who had personal ties to the president of the South African Republic at that time, was able to gain access to the South African Mint for a single day, where he created these personal patterns as presentation coins. This example was graded by NGC as MS63 and at auction sold for $24,000. This 1935 Czechoslovakian gold tender katu features a rendition of Venislas I, also known as Vaclav the Good, who was later canonized as a saint. In one of the many hagiographies written about his life around the 10th century, the priest and historian Cosmos of Prague relates that his deeds I think you know better than I could tell you, for as it is read in his Passions, no one doubts that rising every night from his noble bed, with bare feet he went around to God's churches and gave alms generously to widows, orphans, those in prison and afflicted by every difficulty, so much so that he was considered not a prince, but the father of all of the wretched. This coin was graded by NGC as MS66 and sold at auction for $48,000. The Meiji reforms of the mid to late 19th century fundamentally transformed the Japanese society and economy, modernizing the country and dragging it out of the isolationist feudal Tokugawa era. This 1870 gold 20 yen is the first year of production for this new yen currency system, with a reported original mintage of 46,139 coins from the Osaka Mint, which was set up with equipment from the recently defunct Hong Kong Mint, few of which managed to survive today. This example was authenticated and graded by NGC as MS63 and sold at auction for $52,800. An example of the first type of silver coin ever minted in Chile is seen here. This legendary rarity from the Santiago Mint is dated as 1758, during the reign of Ferdinand VI. Spanish colonial silver pillar dollars or 8 reales coins from Chile are noticeably more rare, especially when compared to the counterparts from Peru or Mexico in particular. A celebrated rarity, here graded by NGC as uncirculated details, managed to see a closing price at auction of $57,600. France is then the host of our next stop, with the Strasbourg Mint, responsible for creating this low mintage gold 100 franc coin from the reign of the revivalist emperor Napoleon III. During his second French imperial era, a mintage of only 789 coins and a large denomination ensured the coin's rarity today. This 1868 example of the coin was graded by NGC and at auction crossed the auction block for a price of $60,000. Another noteworthy French piece featured at the auction was the renowned French Angel, and no, I don't mean the old-timey pro wrestler by the same name, but the gold 100 franc coin instead, featuring the guardian angel of genius on the coin instead. This example was slabbed by NGC with an accompanying grade of MS66, placing it at the pinnacle of the population report, where it was able to secure a closing price at auction of $50,400. In 1640, the German state of Bavaria completed additional fortifications around the city of Munich as a response to the ongoing 30 Years' War. This gold 5 ducats celebrates that with an engaging city view on the reverse, featuring those fortifications, along with an armored depiction of the Bavarian electorate Maximilian I. Graded by NGC as MS62, it managed to attain a closing price at auction of $60,000. When Peter III became Emperor of the Russian Empire in 1762, I imagine that he did not foresee that his reign would scarcely last 6 months, nor that his own wife, the future Catherine the Great, would oust him in a palace coup in July of 1762 when he was arrested and forced to sign abdication papers, upon which Catherine was then declared as Empress of Russia. Peter was then imprisoned in the Ropsha Palace and then mysteriously died about a week later. Officially, from natural causes, of course, but there are those pesky rumors that do still persist as well. As an indirect result, this is the only 10 rubles of Peter III's short reign, and keenly sought after as a result by collectors. Graded as AU 58 by NGC, it secured a closing price at auction of $84,000. King George VI is sometimes referred to as the reluctant king. After all, as King George V's second son, he was not the natural successor to the throne, the spare, as it were, not the heir. But after his older brother, King Edward VIII, abdicated the throne after less than 11 months as king in order to marry the American divorcee Wallis Simpson, Prince Albert became King George VI of the United Kingdom and the Dominions of the British Commonwealth in December of 1936. Oddly enough, in a way, their father, the late King George V, predicted this might happen. He was quoted as saying that, "After I am dead, the boy will surely ruin himself in 12 months. As it turns out, that only took 11, and he then went on to say that, "I pray to God that my eldest son will never marry, and nothing will come between Bertie and Lilibet and the throne." Bertie was of course referring to the future King George VI, a diminutive of his given name of Albert, and Lilibet was the family name for Queen Elizabeth II, then still the Princess Elizabeth. This beautiful gold coronation £5 from 1937 was one of the first coins to bear the new image of King George VI. Graded here as proof 66 plus deep cameo, this exemplary example was sold at auction for a total of $99,000. And then, for the coin which is often cited as being the master engraver and chief engraver of the Royal Mint, William Wyand's finest work, mentioned in the same breath as the Una and the Lion quintuple sovereign from 1839 as well. The intricately detailed 1847 Gothic crown, a remarkable achievement in coin design that enthusiastically celebrates the mid-19th century Gothic revival era, as well as acknowledging the constituent peoples of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland on its quartered reverse design and the details of Queen Victoria's dress on the obverse. The crowned and quartered design represents England with the armorial of the Plantagenets along with the Tudor rose, the Celtic harp and shamrock for Ireland along with the thistle and royal standard of Scotland, all encircling the cross of the most noble order of the Garter. Now, the more observant of you might have noticed that Wales was not represented here. This was due to the fact that at this time in history, when this coin circulated, legally speaking, Wales was considered to be an integral part of England itself. The coin is also the N over inverted N variety that you can see in the word UNITA, with a plain edge. Graded by PCGS as Proof 64 Cameo, it sold at auction for the sum of $186,000. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to watch a video about the New York International sale next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.